The stagecoach rolled through endless Montana grasslands beneath a blazing afternoon sun. Samuel Carter, a hard-working rancher, waited outside the trading post holding legal marriage papers arranged through a distant agency. Years of loneliness had convinced him companionship mattered more than pride. Everything changed the moment the carriage finally arrived, carrying unexpected passengers together. A confident young cowgirl jumped from the coach before anyone else. Dust covered her boots, and a worn leather hat shaded determined eyes. Looking directly at Samuel, she laughed softly and declared, "You bought the wrong bride." Nearby townspeople exchanged confused glances, while Samuel simply smiled instead of arguing with her calm confidence. The woman introduced herself as Clara Dawson. Another bride, destined for Samuel, had become ill during the journey and remained behind. Clara had escorted her safely to another settlement before continuing alone. She insisted she wasn't anyone's purchased wife and refused allowing desperate circumstances to define her future or personal dignity ever. Samuel folded the marriage contract without complaint. Instead of demanding explanations, he extended his hand respectfully. "Then welcome to Montana anyway," he replied warmly. "You don't owe me anything. If you need honest work or temporary shelter, my ranch has room." Clara hesitated. Surprised kindness had replaced the argument she expected instead. During the long wagon ride toward the ranch, Clara noticed Samuel treated every ranch hand with genuine respect. Workers laughed comfortably around him rather than fearing mistakes. She quietly admitted most wealthy ranchers she had encountered valued obedience over fairness. Samuel answered that loyalty could never be purchased through fear alone, only earned. The ranch appeared peaceful beneath towering mountains. Horses grazed freely, while children from neighboring families helped gather livestock after school. Clara immediately sensed the place felt more like a community than a business. She offered to earn her keep by breaking wild horses, repairing fences, and assisting injured animals whenever needed. The following morning, Clara demonstrated extraordinary riding skills, while calming an aggressive stallion everyone considered impossible to train. Ranch hands watched in amazement as the frightened horse slowly accepted her gentle touch. Samuel realized courage wasn't measured by loud voices or reckless strength. It often arrived quietly through patience, understanding, and compassion. News spread quickly across neighboring ranches that Samuel's mail-order bride wasn't actually his bride. Some wealthy landowners mocked him publicly, claiming kindness had made him weak. Samuel ignored every insult. Clara apologized repeatedly for embarrassing him, but he simply shrugged, saying integrity always mattered more than another person's opinion or gossip. Several days later, a wealthy cattle baron named Victor Langston arrived unexpectedly. Smiling arrogantly, he announced Clara had once refused his marriage proposal. Now he demanded she leave immediately, insisting she belonged with someone offering wealth instead of dusty ranch life. Clara stepped backward instinctively, while Samuel quietly moved beside her without hesitation. Samuel faced Victor calmly before speaking. "She already told you no once," he said firmly. "Around here, a woman's choice isn't something another man gets to purchase." Clara looked at Samuel with grateful eyes, realizing the rancher hadn't bought the wrong bride. Fate had simply brought the right people together at exactly the right time. Victor laughed confidently, believing money always won. Clara stepped forward before Samuel could answer. Looking directly into Victor's eyes, she declared she would never marry someone who treated people like property. The watching ranch hands nodded proudly. Victor's smile faded as he realized intimidation no longer held any power over her. Humiliated, Victor vowed revenge before riding away with his men. Samuel knew the threat wasn't empty. That evening, he quietly doubled the ranch patrols and ensured every family living nearby felt protected. Clara insisted on helping instead of hiding, proving she possessed both courage and determination equal to anyone on the ranch. Before sunrise, several masked riders attempted stealing Samuel's finest horses. Clara spotted movement from the stable window and immediately sounded the ranch bell. Ranch hands rushed outside while Samuel confronted the thieves. Surprised by the united response, the outlaws fled after a brief struggle, leaving empty-handed beneath the fading darkness and early dawn. The sheriff arrived later that morning, after following fresh hoofprints leading toward Victor's property. Hidden corrals contained stolen cattle from neighboring ranches, exposing years of criminal activity. Victor and his accomplices were arrested immediately. Townspeople celebrated because justice had finally caught the man who believed wealth placed him above every honest law. Peace slowly returned across the valley. With fear gone, neighboring ranchers gathered regularly at Samuel's ranch for community dinners, horse races, and harvest celebrations. Clara became beloved by everyone, especially children who admired her fearless riding and gentle way with frightened animals. The ranch flourished through cooperation instead of competition and suspicion. One quiet evening, Samuel admitted something weighing heavily upon his heart. "When I waited for that stagecoach," he smiled, "I thought I was expecting a bride." Clara laughed softly, remembering her bold introduction. "Instead," Samuel continued, "I found my best friend, my greatest partner, and the woman who changed this ranch forever." Clara looked toward the mountains glowing beneath the setting sun. "You never tried owning me," she whispered. "You respected every decision I made, even when I planned leaving." Samuel answered gently, "Love should always begin with freedom. Otherwise, it isn't love at all." Her eyes filled with grateful tears at those sincere words. Samuel reached into his jacket and removed a simple silver ring crafted by the town blacksmith. "This isn't part of any contract," he said warmly. "There are no papers, no obligations, and no expectations. It's only a question." He held out his hand, exactly as he had the day they first met. Smiling through happy tears, Clara placed her hand inside his. "You didn't buy the wrong bride," she whispered. "You simply found the right woman when neither of us expected it." She accepted the ring, while friends and ranch hands cheered around them, celebrating a love built on respect, trust, and genuine partnership instead of obligation. Years later, travelers passing through Montana still heard the story of the fearless cowgirl and the kind rancher. Their marriage became proof that true love can never be bought, forced, or arranged by contracts. It grows through kindness, respect, shared courage, and two hearts choosing each other freely every single day thereafter.